Shalom. Ko lo Yahweh Bashum Yahusha Bashum Rakach Wadash. The bond said the apostles, the bond said the elders, a great millstone who rule well and taught his truth. Much respect to you brothers out there, preaching his word in truth and sincerity throughout the four corners of earth. The tabernacle of David that's being risen up right before your very eyes. The hopeful elect, the speckled bird which is scattered abroad, that may come in looking like the heathen. To you, I want to say shalom. As again into this lesson, just meditating on the word, mainly of this scripture as you see right here in 2 Peter 1 and verse 10, because the Lord, as the scriptures speak, the Lord is not a man that he should lie. The Lord is going to stand on his word. The Lord is a man of his word, right? And so if the Lord tells you these things, you do what you're supposed to be doing, then Yahweh Razah, you're going to be blessed for it. That you're going to be taken care of. As you read in the scriptures, there's men's whole household families that is going to be delivered in these last days, right? That men of the Lord going to get their spiritual power, that protection, right? That hedge of protection. No matter what situation that you go through, that you're going to be taken care of. If you keep the faith, it's pretty much the premise. If you keep the faith and stay diligent unto the end, you're going to be blessed. You're not going to fall, right? And there's many examples in the scriptures as the scriptures speak of, these events, these things were written for our learning. We can look at our forefathers and see that they were blessed for trusting in the name of Yahweh Ba'ashum Yahusha, right? So as I got right here, 2 Peter 1 and verse 10, wherefore the rather, brother, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, right? So the Lord said, give diligence to make your calling and election sure, right? Check this key verse. For if you do these things, ye shall never fall. You do these things, ye shall never fall. So if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, staying on your P's and Q's, blowing the trumpet, right? Utilizing the measure of talents in which the Lord has given you, utilizing it to the best of your ability, right? The Lord is going to bless you for it. You are not going to fall, right? As I got right here, right? Diligence as a virtue that leads to success. Just like people in the world, they perfect their craft, right? They try to become the best at the game or whatever craft in which they striving for, right? They're diligent in the world. Be diligent in the truth. And the Lord's going to add on to you, add more talents, add more wisdom, right? And ultimately, you're going to understand and know the mission that, hey, the world ain't worth it. I must keep my eyes on the prize, and the Lord going to bless me for it, as we'll read, right? Spiritual growth, you're growing in this truth, and fulfillment, contrasting it with laziness or half-hearted effort. And you can see which brothers are lazy, which brothers, so-called brothers, I should say, Salakia, so-called, you can tell dudes, let me just say it like this, these men who are lazy and half-hearted, right? They don't put hardly no effort in the work. You may go to camp every Saturday or whatever, whichever day you have camp at. Yeah, you may go to camp, but what are you doing throughout the week? Are you being diligent? Because doing these videos, doing these lessons keep you in the spirit, You're treating this thing as Christianity. That's what they do in the world. Yeah, I go to church every Sunday, but you may be a whole demon for the rest of the week, right? So you can see who truly believes in this thing by doing the work, edifying the limbs of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, right? So once again, 2 Peter 1 and verse 10, wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. Once again, key point, if you do these things, ye shall never fall. Utilizing your talent to the best of your ability, keeping the faith to the end, you are not going to fall. Right? And you're going to see that with your actions. Actions speak louder than the words. Right? Hey, a lot of dudes is just talk. We're coming into the time of Jacob's trouble with the Lord. Right? We're in the beginning stages of Jacob's trouble, but where eventually it's going to get full blown, and the Lord is testing his product. Who truly believes in me? Was you just saying it? Or do you actually believe it? I pray to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua that, hey, all of our brethren, man, that we not just saying it, that we actually believe it, right? Ephesians 4 and verse 1. As a prisoner in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, then I urge you to walk in a manner worthy of your calling you have received. Walk in a manner worthy of your calling. And we just read about being diligent, right? A virtue that leads to success, spiritual growth, and fulfillment, not laziness or half-hearted effort, right? You're supposed to walk and how the Lord tell you how to walk. And we've been given examples by apostles and elders how to conduct ourselves within this walk. You've seen the videos that they putting out. You're seeing them out there on the highways and byways, seeing how they maneuver through the world, right? The edification and wisdom which they bestow upon us. Take heed to it, right? Slack you. All right. Let me see. Slack you. All right. I believe that was supposed to be. Yeah, Salaki. That's supposed to be Psalms 32 and verse 1. Some reason I get clicked. But anyways, hey, you want to be one of these brothers, Yahweh Ratazah, right? Yahweh Ratazah, you want to be one of these brothers, right? Where, a Lord willing, you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. And you're going to remain blameless in the eyes of the Lord. Yeah, the world's going to hate you. But to the Lord, you might be one of the Lord's best friends, man. So once again, Psalms 32 and verse 1, blessed is he whose transgressions is forgiven, whose sins is covered. Lord willing, he gives us the sure mercies of David. Lord willing, man, because we striving, we trying the best. Once again, doing these lessons keep us in the spirit. You're mindful on how you maneuver through this world. The scriptures speak of meditating on this word day and night, just roughly paraphrasing, man. And if it seems evil to you to serve the Lord, hey, go your way, man. Right? Don't be half-assing it, as we just read, contrasting with laziness or half-hearted effort. If you got that type of spirit on you, you better recognize it. And choose your path. You're either going to be on fire or cold. Because if you lukewarm, what the Lord say in Revelation 3, he going to spew you out. You're going to be out of here, man. He ain't dealing with that. Right? Verse 2, blessed is the man unto whom the Lord imputeth not iniquity, and whose spirit there is no guile. You see, you want to be one of those brothers, Lord willing. None of us knows, but you're going to be walking the walk of the elect, right? And the Lord going to show you that you're one of the ones. He may show signs and wonders right now, but especially in the times to come, he's going to show you that you're one of the ones. But you got to put in that work and the effort right now, right? Philippians 2 and verse 12. Therefore, my beloved, just as ye have always obeyed, not only in my presence, but now even more in my absence, continue to work your salvation with fear and trembling. You doing that? You staying on fire for the Lord, right? You see, this a men shouldn't have to constantly get on you. Men shouldn't have to constantly be over you. Hey, brother, you do your lessons, man. You doing the work? Nah, it should already be in you. It should already be in you to do the work of the Lord, right? And so with that, once again, doing the work of the Lord, man. Doing the work of the Lord as you're commanded to. As I said earlier, utilizing the talents in which the Lord has bestowed upon you to the best of your ability, right? You're making your call and election sure. You understand the importance of fearing the Lord. You understand that it ain't worth being a nigga in the world, moving like these niggas in the world, moving like Esau Edom in the world. So you fear the Lord. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, right? Colossians 3 and verse 12. Therefore, as elect of God, holy and beloved, clothe yourselves with the heart of compassion, kindness, humility, gentleness, and patience, right? Some attributes in which you should have upon you when you're walking in this walk, man. And one of the main ones which I'm getting is patience and humility, right? Make sure you got your pride in check because the Lord ain't dealing with that pride. Make sure you got patience, right? Because if you don't have patience, scriptures speak about that. Matter of fact, let me see if I got it. This is, what was that? Sirach 2. Yeah, Sirach 2. I like all these Salak here. Let me see. Sirach 2 and verse 14. Woe unto you that have lost patience. You see? You're supposed to have patience within this walk. Woe unto you that have lost patience. And what will ye do when the Lord shall visit you? Because you fell out. Oh man, the prophecies ain't. I remember watching one of the brothers' videos, about one of the dudes that got kicked out of the camp or so, if I remember correctly, and they was out there on the highways and byways for a little minute, but then they fizzled out, right? They fizzled out, and they were pretty much like, hey, the Lord ain't came soon enough. Well, this thing comes with patience. Right? Patience, enduring, right? That patience is going through that straight and narrow. It's going to have some bumps. It's going to have some bruises. You understand that day to the Lord is but 1,000 years. The Lord is moving on his time, not on your time, Jake. You just stay on your P's and Q's and edify the lambs of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, as you read right here. Sirach 2 and verse 1, my son, if thou come to serve the Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, check this. What should you do? Prepare thy soul for temptation, you see? Set thy heart aright. Constantly endure. Constantly endure. Oh, the prophecies ain't come quick enough, man. I'm out of here. Nah, you constantly endure. Whatever is being thrown at you, you constantly endure. And make no haste in the time of trouble. Right? The MOTB is going to get implemented. Right? That order out of chaos. They're going to offer a way for things to go back to normal. You ain't with that, man. Right? We're going to continue to be outcasts of the world. And we're going to trust in the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. Right? Matter of fact, cleave unto him, depart not away, that thou mayest be increased at that last end. You want greatness, you want glory, right? Seek it in the kingdom of heaven, right? Because those men that want that praise of men now, you have your consolation. And that's gonna fade away real quick. They ain't gonna be nothing. They ain't gonna save you. They ain't gonna deliver you. If anything, it's gonna put a target on your head. So we seek the greatness in the kingdom of heaven. That's where truly your name is gonna be praised. Right? Let me see. 1 Thessalonians 1 and verse 4. Beloveds, who are beloved by power, we know that he has chosen you. Also in John as well. You have not chosen me, but I have chosen you. All right, just roughly paraphrasing the scriptures. The Lord chooses you. The Lord chooses you. You can't choose the Lord. A lot of us didn't see us out here on the highways and byways preaching his word. You know, I know, speaking for myself, because my father being a pastor, I was like, you know what, I don't even want to be a pastor, but I knew there was some type of calling upon my life, but I was just like, I don't want to be no pastor. But the Lord revealed, like, hey, Yahweh Razah, we have those men, you know, in my walk, Lord revealed, like, hey, we, you know, hey, we had to go out there on the highways and byways and be a true pastor, a prophet of the Lord, prophesying. So even being young, or a younger man, I should say, you know, the Lord gave me the eyes to see that, hey, the church way wasn't it. But, you know, that's why you taste and see that the Lord is so good. You know, you get this wisdom. You knew this was it. Saw brothers preaching, how they was breaking down the scriptures. I knew this was it. Apostles and elders and brothers on down, I knew this was it. As the scriptures speak of. Now I shall see thy teachers. I knew this was it. Heard the name of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua. I knew this was it. You brothers as well. Right? Hebrews 6 and verse 11. We want each of you to show the same diligence to the very end, you see? The same diligence to the very end. We just read. Right? Set thy heart aright, constantly endure, make no haste in time of trouble. Right? We want each of you to show the same diligence to the very end in order to make your hope sure. Then you will not be sluggish, but will intimidate those through the faith and patience inherit what has been promised. You doing what you're supposed to do, not being sluggish, not being half-hearted, fully trusting in the Lord, enduring to the end, feeding the lambs of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua, you're going to inherit that promise. I believe this is in the NLT. So some of these are in the NLT. So Salakia, I meant to say that earlier. Right? Let me get this right here. James 2 and verse 14. What good is it, my brethren, if someone claims to have faith but has no deeds? That's what these Christians is doing. I believe in the Lord. Right? You just talking. I'm saved. You just talking. You just saved from what? Can such faith save him? Suppose a brother or sister is without clothes and daily food. Check this. If one of you tells him, go in peace, stay warm and well fed, but does not provide for his physical needs, what good is it? So we're not just giving the talk. You actually got to live this thing. You actually got to show the Lord that you trust and believe in him by your actions, right? By keeping the laws to the best of your ability, because you can't keep it perfect, right? The laws do not save you, but you keep them to the best of your ability, and that's you showing the Lord that you're trying to be diligent and have a seat on the chariot. You're not just being out here, a whole nigga out here in the world, man. Check this, because you don't want to be this type of person. Matthew 7 verse 21. Now everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, will enter in the kingdom of heaven, but only he who does the will of my Father in heaven. You doing the will of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, Lord willing, your sins are covered. They're blanketed out, right? Lord willing, you one of those men, right? You're going to be blessed. You're going to be taken care of. It's the first fruits of the kingdom. You don't want to be one of those dudes that know the name of Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua, like Alazar and some of these other niggas out here, man. Yeah, they know the name of the Lord, but look at their fruit. Look how they moving, man. Right? We get this right here, and we'll go ahead and close out right here. 2 Timothy 2 and verse 19. Nevertheless, power's firm foundation stands. Right? His foundation stands. Bearing this seal, the Lord knows who are his, and everyone who calls on the name of the Lord Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahushua must turn away from iniquity. Right? From the foundations of the earth, before the earth was laid down, the Lord knew who is his, who's going to be his, and who's going to be the 2/3, who's going to be the heathen, right? The Lord already knew. And the elect, when they hear this word, when they wake up again in these last days, they're going to turn away from their iniquity and do the work of the Lord and endure to the end. And their stories are going to be told and known in the kingdom of heaven. You're going to know. You're going to know. You're going to see them in the time of Jacob's trouble. Moving like sparks. Moving like, having that spiritual power, right? So yeah, just a little quick hit. Yahweh desires an edifying lesson. Shalom.